This is the Cover 3 Tailgate. Welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Tom Fornelli. That's Bud Elliott. That's Danny Kanell. I'm Chip Patterson coming to you live at youtube.com/cover3 and everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. Thanks for hanging out. Smash that subscribe. Smash that like and comment. Join us in the chat, a.k.a. the Cover 3 Tailgate. They're asking for wind checks in Laramie. They're asking for North Texas team total picks. They're asking for our Week 13 locks. Lots to get to here as we roll out our card. But before we look back, we got to remind you that we are going to keep it going with our friends at Splash Sports. Yes, Week 13 is here, and we've got $1,000 in Splash Cash up for grabs in our free Pick'em contest. No entry fee, real prizes, and bragging rights on the line. Let's break down how this works. You pick 10 college football games against the spread for Week 13. And then, as we've done with our friends at Splash, you get one of those picks that's worth double the points if you nail it. The best pick strategy is huge. Are you going to go with chalk with the heavy favorite, or do you get bold with a dog? It's all about confidence, and it's all about managing that risk versus reward. The top prize, again, this is just Week 13. If you joined us in Week 12, then this is a totally new contest. So if you missed it, chance to get in. If you won it, well, then get in, try to win it again. Top prize, $250 in Splash Cash. And we're paying out the top 50 finishers, so you don't even have to be perfect or lead the way. That's $1,000 in total prizes that we are giving away thanks to our friends at Splash. Head to splashsports.com/cover3, completely free to enter. Make your picks. Join the Cover 3 community. Let's see who's got the sharpest eye. Well, might need to check our eyesight after this one, boys. Let's call up the Cover 3 locks results from Week 12. Week 12, it was a 4-8 week for Bud Elliott. The wins were South Carolina -19.5, Washington State first half -4, Tulsa +3, Arizona Cincinnati under 56.5. The losses were Troy +10.5, Tennessee -39, Notre Dame Pitt over 55, New Mexico -14, North Carolina +6.5, Purdue +17, Duke -4, Sam Houston team total under 23.5. Bud, notes from the week.
Yeah, just not good enough, right? Sorry about the lighting situation here. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. All right, we're down here taping something, not obviously in this room, but yeah, just not good enough. Got to do better.
4-8 for the week has Bud at 62-62 for the season. Just pushing the money around and tipping the dealer over here. For me, 6-6 week. The wins were Notre Dame team total over 33.5. The Texas-Georgia first half under 23.5. Alabama team total under 26.5. The Georgia Tech Boston College first half under 30.5. BYU -4.5. San Diego State -2.5. The losses, however, Tennessee -39. Georgia, third quarter. Come on. You score right at the beginning of the fourth. Almost had it. That's the life we live playing that game. Duke -4 does not come home. Neither does Wake team total under 22.5 as Jake Dickert decides he wants to rub it in Bill Belichick's face for calling a timeout. Come on, man. Kneel like a gentleman. Anyway, Central Florida and Texas Tech under 48.5. Texas Tech did their fair share to take care of that. And Arizona State nearly blew it outright, but wins outright, hangs on. They do not cover 10.5, though. 6-6 for the week has me at 68-61 for the season. Danny Kanell, 5-5 week for you. You get a lock fight win with Iowa +7. Also cashing in on Texas, Georgia under 48.5, Boston College +16.5, Miami -14.5, Wisconsin +29.5. Took a loss with the under 44.5 in Oregon, Minnesota on Friday night. Alabama -5.5. the Florida Ole Miss under 54.5, Michigan Northwestern under 41.5, and UCLA plus 32. What do we think?
Just a crappy week. Moving money around, like you said. I did not know Nico wasn't playing. I don't know if that would have made much of a difference. Fading Ohio State. The Michigan Northwestern under, I would still take that again. That game was disgusting. Yeah.
Hey, listen, just remember, is it just top 25 picks this week, Danny?
I don't know. I might go off the board this week.
Okay, there we go. Discipline Danny out the window. And then Tom Fornelli, it was a 5-5 week for you. The wins were Texas, Georgia, first half under 23.5, Notre Dame minus 11.5, Oklahoma, Alabama under 46.5, Texas Tech minus 23.5, and James Madison team total over 37.5. Losses, Minnesota team total under 8.5, USC minus 6.5, New Mexico minus 14, North Carolina, Wake Forest under 38.5, and Coastal plus 3. What do we think?
There's really not a pick that I made that I didn't really like. I mean, maybe the USC one I would reconsider, but other than that, New Mexico minus 14, they turned the ball over 5 times. I can't really go for that. Minnesota does not hit their over if not for a turnover from Oregon. And then, as you mentioned, the under in UNC Wake due to the Belichick-Dickert shenanigans at the end of the game. So that was, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? 5-5 for the week has Tom at 57-51 for the season. All right, let's get that out of here. Let's turn our attention ahead. I say to you, gentlemen, y'all ready to lock it up?
Let's do it.
Since 2005, the under in games between service academies is 40-9-1.
We're picking locks.
Give me an over in this one as well. A little 2-for-1 special.
Don't get these locks.
I was a sicko last week. Y'all were watching the good games. I was live betting the hell out of ULM Kentucky.
My Blue Plate special 5-star locks are coming.
5-star master lock. Lock it up. You want these locks.
I'm living and dying every point, every cover.
From the locking chair to your eyes and ears, a reminder that locks are sponsored all season long by Cash App. Making money moves should be easy, and that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly way more personalized than other apps out there. Our thanks to Cash App for sponsoring the season-long locks competition and the Cash App Cover 3 Locks Trophy. Yes, that is Tom Fornelli and myself currently tied for first place. But we begin, as we always do, with them early birds. Got a little Sun Belt action here on a Thursday. Anybody got a lock? Twitter tip?
I have a Twitter tip, but I'm not betting it or locking it up. Arkansas State minus 2.5.
Whoa.
Okay. Did anybody take in any of the action last night?
Tom had Miami, right?
I got Miami, yeah.
Me and Mikey overs. He said, hey, how do you like the over? And it was 38.5 to kick off. It was down at 31.5. And I was like, it's just too low. We got to go over. Ended up winning them both. Thing that was kind of sad, you could hear every single thing that was said by the coaches and the fans in the crowd. Like you literally could hear individuals yelling at the field. It was a pretty unique viewing experience.
Danny, that's action.
Yeah, it is.
It's the same deal.
Like, in Buffalo.
If there's not like some debris blowing through the like camera footage, if there's not, like very obviously another club event that happened to get out in the building right next to the stadium. I mean, this is the true campus environment.
That's true.
To be fair, last week, the Miami of Ohio battle between the pricks, that was awesome. A raucous atmosphere.
Yes.
Just depends on where you are.
Yes, Buffalo here in the 2025 season, not exactly it. Will Jonesboro be that for the Raging Cajuns in a battle between somewhere around 500 Sun Belt teams? We'll see. Again, that's Louisiana at Arkansas State. No official locks from the fellas here. Then Friday, a couple fun ones. Florida State going to Carter Finley Stadium. 2 5-5 teams, Florida State and NC State. And then a very important game to see who is going to make it to the Mountain West title game. Hawaii 4-2 in conference play, 7-3 overall. They are going to be playing in Las Vegas against UNLV, 4-2 in conference play, 8-2 overall. I checked in with our friends at Sportsline at Inside the Lines. The scenarios here does not look like actually either of them have a great chance to get in. I was like, what are our most likely matchups? Fresno State, San Diego State, Boise State, New Mexico, San Diego State. So I guess less important than I realized, but still two teams that have been near the top of that conference. Would anybody got a lock on either one of the Friday night games? Let's go.
I mean, something's got to give here because Florida State is 0-8 straight up and 1-7 against the spread away since 2024. But it is also my birthday tomorrow night.
Oh, birthday Knowles.
Don't do it to yourself, Danny.
If I can make a little extra change on my birthday and break that streak, I'm going to do it. I can get 4.5 too.
Yeah.
Oh, lay the 4.5 all day. They can't lose on my birthday. And I mean, Dave Dorn, we know how he feels about birthdays.
He loves them.
He does not want to hear about
Big birthday guy.
He is not a big birthday guy. And I am. So I'm going to take my Knowles.
Danny's out there standing up, looking at the TV. I do this for a living.
That's right.
All right. Florida State.
I'm a little worried about NC State.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I feel good about Mike Norvell.
Ooh, I agree with statement 1. I do not agree with statement 2.
It was a dice. I think I might be sweating in the third or fourth quarter, but I think we'll get it.
Okay.
Can't spell Norvell without Knoll.
And then I do not like the slate all day or on Saturday, but I'll take UNLV. Hawaii has been great on the island, but away, not so great. I'm going to take Dan Mullen -2.5.
I like that. Anybody get off? That was a deep sigh, bud.
Busy night.
No, I think that's kind of the way I would lean. I do not lean Florida State, but like that's just
no.
On the
We might
road.
have something later on that one, like you've done every
Probably, yeah. That's actually been really profitable this year.
What, just to go through and get all these other money lines on the opposite side of the Knowles?
Yes, absolutely.
Michael in the tailgate noting that UNLV 1-3 against the spread at home. So a big something's got to give game there.
Not a big home field advantage.
And I don't know.
It could be
the
like
early. Yeah, I was gonna say the early suspension for a couple of Dallas Cowboys wide receivers might suggest that Las Vegas still provides the temptations that could be there. I got a couple stories about some college basketball tournaments, out there in Las Vegas that have led to some interesting spottings out on the casino floor. Yeah, we'll see if Hawaii gets entangled by the temptations. All right. On to Saturday. Of course, we begin with some of the headliner games. We'll go chronologically here, beginning in Norman, Oklahoma. Missouri going to take on the Sooners. We've talked a lot about this game, particularly in Big Game Breakdown. Missed you yesterday, Bud. I'll sort of throw, you got a lock here? And even if not a lock, would love to hear your thought on the way this game is priced and the way you are leaning if you don't have a play.
Yeah, so I am interested to see, is Pagula playing?
That's what
he was doubtful on yesterday's injury report.
I would kind of expect he doesn't play. I do think there's a chance that Missouri can pop explosive runs here, just because of like how much Oklahoma moves around. But I don't know if they can really pass enough to win the game. But like Oklahoma's offense is bad enough that they can, like, any SEC game for them is losable, like legitimately. Like you have 200 yards against Alabama. Like that's not, like, unless they play a lot better on offense, you really can't feel good about their chances in the game, in my opinion. But like the defense is that good. Like they have, is that the worst? Let me make sure I don't say something stupid. Is that the best defense in the SEC and also the worst offense in the SEC?
it's close.
It's close. I'd still think Auburn's is
Auburn.
worse. Yeah.
I wrote a story about Jaden Maeva today for CBSSports.com, and I was just looking at how bad just Jaden Maeva on the road is. And a comp is actually what John Mateer has been for the entire season.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yes, not good. So are you thinking Missouri here, or is that a sprinkle? Are you going to take the points?
Yeah, I'm going to take Missouri in the 8.
Okay. It is already an extremely low number. I'm just still going to grab it. If Alabama and Oklahoma played a rock fight that required long special teams returns and a scoop and score to be able to get to, a final of, let's see, what were we at? 24, we're 45 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 41 and a half is my best number. No 42 and a half stuff.
There's 42 and a half.
All right, yeah, I'll take under 42 in this one. And here, you know what's the funny thing? I don't know if y'all have thought about this at all, but because of the margins here, and Bud, what you were talking about with the potential for popping a couple of explosives, because what I don't expect is for either of these teams to string together explosives against the other defense. Like a very classic play would be for me to target the first half under, but the first half under is 20 and a half. We could have 21 points in the first half and 14 after halftime. Like I would much rather buckle in for the whole 4 quarters betting against multiple explosive plays rather than catching that 1 or 2 big return or big run in the first half and breaking the first half under. So I'm starting Saturday with a little hair on my chest, boys. We're going a little under 42 in Norman.
Under 42 and a half in lock agreement.
Oh, yes.
Tribula, Zollers. I don't expect Missouri to score much against this defense, and I don't think Oklahoma's offense is really capable of doing a whole lot itself. Pretty simple.
Agreed.
Danny, in nothing?
No, I don't have a really good beat on this game. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Oklahoma just is so dominant. That's why probably you guys, the under is probably the right play. I could see Oklahoma win. I lean towards Oklahoma covering, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
I'll root for Bud.
Then, after the noon slate, you know what time it is. Big time on CBS. We'll be out there at Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon, for a former Pac-12 rivalry, now one of the premier Big Ten rivalries. USC coming to town, 2 losses on the season. College football playoff hopes still alive. Oregon, 9-1 on the season. College football playoff hopes very much alive and strong. It is a do or die game for the USC Trojans. Again, reaching out to our friends at Inside the Lines. Currently, USC with a 22.9% chance to make the college football playoff. With the win, they take that up to 89. With a loss, you're down to 2. The 87% swing in your odds to make the college football playoff is the biggest swing of any college football playoff contender. So it's a gotta-have-it game for the Trojans. And for Oregon, you do not want to pick up that second loss and put yourself in one of those difficult debates. So Ducks plenty to play for as well. We have broken down this game multiple times this week. So now no more matchup stuff. All I want to know is who's got a luck?
I do, but I also have a question.
Yes.
How do you simulate the chances to make the playoff?
That's a numbers. Why are you asking Chip about math?
I don't understand the math. There's not a mathematical equation to qualify for the playoffs. How can you use math to come up with a chance to get in? I will say I am locking up the under 59.5. We talked about it during the big game breakdowns for this game this week. USC's offense has struggled a lot on the road compared to how they play at home. Oregon's defense is the best in the country at limiting explosives. I do think this will be a tougher test than most of the ones that they have faced to this point this year, but I still like what they do defensively. And I also think just matchup-wise, I think Oregon's going to lean on its run game against a USC defense that hasn't been great against the run, which I think is going to kind of keep the clock running quite a bit in this one. So under 59.5.
I don't hate that. I am going to go ahead and take the 10 with USC. I think this is the second best passing attack, or maybe the first, depending, that Oregon's seen this year, and by a lot, right? Like they faced Iowa, can't throw. All the other teams they played except for Indiana can't throw, and Indiana threw it on pretty okay. So I do think that USC will be able to score a little bit. Obviously, Oregon wants to keep it on the ground. I think control this game. Northwestern actually ran it on them pretty decent in LA. Iowa did in the first half. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 10 with USC. That's a big number.
What if I told you I can get you 10.5?
Oh, well, then I'll definitely take that. Let's go.
Okay. Danny?
Can you get me 9.5 for the Ducks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right, good.
yeah.
There's lots of splits out there.
Let's middle this bad boy, and we both come out winners. Let's get a 10-point victory for the Ducks. The injuries concern for USC has me concerned. Playing on the road has me concerned for USC. And everyone kind of talking about Oregon, and I don't know if they're that good, and who have they beaten. I mean, I think Dan Lanning is going to have this team in a frenzy, and I do think they're really good, especially when they can run the football, which I do think they'll be able to do. So I'll lay them with Oregon.
The number one pass defense in the country in terms of yards per game allowed and passer rating allowed. All 136 FBS teams. Oregon up there at number one, which of course led Bud Elliott, the classic Bud Elliott line of, what's the best passing attack they played this year? Yeah, because
with a pulse.
Yes. I still think that I think Oregon's defense is going to provide a tough challenge. I think that the home road splits, as we've detailed multiple times this week, are concerning for Jaden Maeva and this USC passing attack. However, I think that Lincoln Riley is correct when he says we've been a second half team all year. And I think that the players on this team are correct where they talk about the resiliency of player-led team. Lincoln Riley said this week that other USC teams that he's coached would have buckled down double digits to Iowa in those conditions. You know, he really believes, like Jaden Maeva talks about this team this week as being a special team. So I don't want any part of that second half team. Let's go Oregon first half -5.5. Ducks at home, first 30 minutes. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to take a nice little, nice 6-point lead into the locker room or more. Oregon also not as much this season, but last year had a little bit of a third quarter issue. You know, they get out to these big leads and then just kind of play with their food a little bit after halftime. Not anything that I would apply as consistently to the 2025 squad, but still something that's ringing around in my head. So USC slow starts, some Oregon advantages I like. Throw puddles on that bike, get out there, get off to a fast start, and let's cash this ticket at halftime.
I thought you were setting up the pre-flop USC second half.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? All right. Well, hey, by Saturday, I might have a treasure map. Shoot, by Friday afternoon. By Thursday, 3:25 on HBO.
By the end of the show.
Yeah, we'll have something. All right, let's keep things rolling in the day. Arkansas at Texas. Ooh. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff from Darrell K. Royal Stadium in Austin. Who's got a lock?
I do.
Yeah.
Over.
Oh, yeah.
Over 57.5. I think Texas defense, we talked a little bit about this the other day. Texas defense was really good earlier in the season until they started facing some pretty good offenses. I think Taylor Green is really tough to defend as a dual threat quarterback. Bobby Petrino still potentially coaching for his future, whether it's at Arkansas or somewhere else. And I do think Arkansas's defense cannot stop anybody. So I think this is a good game for Texas's offense to get back on track. A lot of points. Give me the over.
I was going to take Arkansas at 10. It's not there anymore. So it's a pass for me. I just like, what kind of motivation does Texas have here? You know, like, are they getting up off the mat? Maybe, but I could also see him just totally mailing this in.
I am on Arkansas plus 9.5. I don't even need the 10. It's honestly my favorite stat so far of the 2025 season is that Arkansas is 2-8 with a point differential of plus 18. So to put that in layman's terms, in case you don't understand, Arkansas has scored more points this year than it has given up, and it is 2-8. And that includes a 43-point loss to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Their SEC losses, 5 of them have been by 3 points or less. I saw the stat in our notes from CBS this week. In this century, it is tied for the most losses of 3 points or less in a single season by any team in the FBS this century. So they've been in a lot of close games. Texas's defense has allowed at least 31 points in each of its last 3 games. I don't think that I think that they're kind of just wearing down from having to carry that offense all season long. It's just catching up to them. And I think if the one thing about Arkansas is they have shown they can put points up on you. That's not been their problem. So I do think that they're going to hang around. I don't think they're going to pull off the upset, but I don't think this is going to be very comfortable in DKR come the fourth quarter.
You said 9.5?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I was comfortable at 8.5. I think 8.5 is what I had yesterday, right, Danny? For Spotlight.
Yeah, it's been moving around a bit.
So if you want to sit back and if you want to wait for a 10, I understand that. But what has Texas done to inspire confidence right now? Now, here's one thing that I'm entertaining. Steve Sarkisian is hot right now. On the SEC coaches teleconference on Wednesday, that guy was shooting flamethrower. I mean, he is very, very put off by all of the conversation and all of the chatter. And we don't need to spend this show going into that, but I am recognizing there is an FU game out of Texas where they win this thing by 30. But
the chatter about him taking a different job, or the chatter about them being out of the playoff?
No, chatter,
a different job.
A different job. Yeah.
He started it off. Again, it's very similar to what he did the first time it came around with the Diana Rossini report. He said, first off, I want to get something out of the way. Reports are ridiculous. You could hear the anger, irritation.
That's what there's something.
So reports keep happening.
Well, not reports.
Well,
Dez.
It's just Dez doing.
Do you think game day will bring it up with Dez? They kind of have to, right?
See, Danny, I
don't
think I can speak intelligently to that because I'm always watching college football pregame.
That's right. As you should.
I don't know what even is happening on that show right now because I'm just dialed into college football pregame,
Right.
We're eating our donuts. We're having our Saturday morning. I got college football pregame on the TV. I think that if you're going about this game, I would hope that you at least give him an opportunity, If you post that video on social media and it inspires that kind of response in an official setting like the coaches teleconference, then I would hope that it's a part of the conversation. But so I'm willing to entertain there is like a Texas alt line theory here that they just go out and blow their doors off. But there's just been nothing from that team that has inspired the confidence they can do that. If it's tight, I trust Arkansas's absolute capital H hate of Texas. Again, sneaky rivalry where one side hates the other one a lot more than the other one thinks about the other, right? Arkansas, Texas being one of those. Give me the Hogs plus the best number I can get. Sounds like 9.5.
Desmond should show up to this game day set with a dog.
It's a great way to deflect. Yeah. Atlanta, Georgia, Bobby Dodd Stadium. Boy, Brent Key, he's trying to get that alignment right. He's trying to get the assignments fixed. Here comes Mason Heinschel, who might have been broken. Young boys got to put the pieces back together. Who's got a lock with Pitt and Georgia Tech?
I don't think. Ooh, there you go.
I just I don't think there's much difference between these teams. It's not like Georgia Tech has a big home field. I'll take Pitt in 2.5.
Oh, don't let Brent Key say they don't have big home field.
They don't.
I think it actually will be a good. I think it'll be a good atmosphere. I do. I played there at night when they were good. It'll be a good atmosphere.
Anybody else?
Baton Rouge at night or Bobby Dodd at night? Which way are you going to go?
Not wasting my money on this league.
Yeah. I don't trust either team. We were talking I think everybody thinks it's going to be a shootout. I have concerns that Georgia Tech's going to move it against Pitt's defense.
And hold the ball forever. Yeah, they could.
I'm just going to enjoy this. I think it'll be a fun game.
I might have something on this game later.
Ooh.
And then BYU at Cincinnati, 8 p.m. kickoff here at the NIP. Who's got a lock?
I do.
All right.
Let me see what the number's still at here, if I can find it. Yeah, it's still there. Give me the over 54.5. I don't think Cincinnati's defense is very good. And I think that BYU's run defense is kind of suspect, which will allow Cincinnati to have at least a modicum of success there. I mean, I'm not looking for a crazy shootout here, but I do think we can get up to 55.
I will take the under 56.
Ooh. The fight.
Fight.
I was looking for a way to play this either Cincy or under. I just think if you look at what happened last week, to me, part of that was TCU just basically no show in the game, and I think the spread probably reflects that, like not giving too much credit to BYU. To me, the total felt like a little bit high. I do think that that BYU probably runs the ball a lot here. Maybe clock isn't stopping a whole lot. So I think under makes a little bit of sense.
Little bit of red on the board.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I might have a little something on this later. TK, you got any plays on this one?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a great feel for this one either.
Fun game. I mean,
Yeah.
like, fun game with stakes. But just
I'll hear something later.
A tough one to call. All right. Coming up on the other side, we open up the Saturday board. Anything goes. Our Moneyline Sprinkles and more. Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, let's take a look at what we've got on the board. Bud Elliott. He's locking up Missouri +8, USC +10.5, Pitt +2.5, and BYU-Cincinnati under 56. I've got Missouri, Oklahoma under 42.5, Oregon first half -5.5, and Arkansas +9.5. Danny's got Florida State -4.5, Oregon -9.5, UNLV -2.5, Arkansas, Texas over 57.5, and Tom's got the under 42.5 in Missouri, Oklahoma, USC, Oregon under 59.5, Arkansas +9.5, and the BYU Cincinnati over 54.5. All right, Danny and Tom both tied for the week win last week. Do y'all want to flip the T?
Danny, you go ahead.
Okay.
All right, I will go. I had a first yesterday on our Top 25 pick show that Chip and I do. I made a switch
at the
on
last
one of my
minute.
picks.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen this note before, and I think I had been burned on it before. But Georgia, as a 40-point favorite under Kirby Smart, is 0-13-1 against the spread. Charlotte 49ers are a 44-point underdog. Give me Charlotte and the points.
You know what? I'm going to give you Charlotte 44.5 just in case.
All right. It's 44-0 to start the game, right?
That is, Danny, you have learned so much. I'm so proud of you. That is so true. Given 44-point leads are very difficult to blow, I still think it's possible. I'll go with the under.
It's going to be a sweat.
I'll go the under 53.5 in this one.
There you go.
You know, I kind of want to look. I think I'm going to look up like the last few years with the way that the scoring rules are, or the clock rules are. I want to see like what the record is of anybody who's like a 42-point favorite or more.
Right.
Texas Tech did blast Kent State into the sun.
Mm-hmm.
There are some, like, it takes the right offense and the right motivation, certainly.
Oregon did blast Oklahoma State. They had no problem.
Golly. That's right. It's one of the biggest. It's like that. And who did Florida State absolutely thump? Like one of the
East Texas A&M.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chip, you said you're on the under, right?
Yeah. 53.5 is that my best number?
I can get you a 54.
All right. You guys are taking it the wrong direction. All right, Tom, where would you like to go next?
I'm going to go to the Sun Belt, the best conference in the world. I'm going to take the team that has quite the chip on its shoulder this week when they saw that Tulane, a team with multiple losses, including one by 22 points to UTSA, is ranked, and they're sitting there with one loss and they aren't. And the committee doesn't give a damn about them because they play in that little old Sun Belt and they got to pay the Sun Belt tax, which means we don't care about you. You're not good enough and you never will be. So James Madison has to show that they're good enough. They've got Washington State flying all the way across the country, coming out there to face them. Early start time. be 10 a.m. Pacific, Washington State body clock issue, and they're less than a 2-touchdown dog. Now, I know that Washington State came across the country and gave Ole Miss some trouble and gave Virginia some trouble, but those teams aren't as good as James Madison, and they don't have as much to prove as James Madison. So give me the Dukes minus 13.5.
I mean, it's what they got to do. Keep getting disrespected. You can have a common opponent with Ole Miss. You can be out there saying we beat Washington State by more than Ole Miss did with similar stakes, right? It's just a one-off game in the middle of pursuing a conference championship. I like that.
We both have one loss and we both have one common opponent.
Let's keep it up here with the big ones, the heavy hitters. Give me the Mercer Bears plus 28.
Yeah. Interesting number.
Yep.
Which game is this?
Auburn. Right?
Here's the thing that Auburn fans may or may not be aware of. The Mercer Bears are 9-1 and currently ranked in the top 10 of the FCS Coaches Poll and stats ranking.
True.
It ain't a nobody, Now Mercer has its own, they still have the FCS playoffs, right? Like if you want to question what is Mercer's motivation here, well, I'll tell you what Mercer's motivation might be. It might be from the fact that Mike Jacobs still early in his head coaching career, I mean, this is still his second season with Mercer. This is a tone setter. This is a way that you go in and you go from Macon to Auburn and you make that statement. Mercer Bears plus 28. Iron Bowl look ahead,
It's principle.
Let's go. Mercer. Doing the Dougie like it's 2014 and you just beat Duke in the first round. Go Mercer. Bud, where would you like to go?
I would like to go to Cal Stanford.
Oh, God, we are really,
Yeah. Okay. Play the music. I don't know.
Let's go.
All right, that's not totally sicko, but I just figured it was worth a joke. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, this has been bet down to 3. There's even a 2.5 out there at Hard Rock. So, I'm gonna lay that 2.5. And with Cal, I just think it's a better football team than Stanford is. So go ahead and take them.
But will the band be out in the field? That's what we can't predict.
It's hard. It's hard to predict that. Certainly. DK, where'd you like to go?
I will go. Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee, where you have Kentucky traveling with Cutter Boley, who has been a pleasant surprise, the freshman for Kentucky since they've rolled with him. I think their offense has been playing a little bit better. I know it's a tough Kentucky defense, but Diego Pavia and company, I think they're going to be able to put up some points, and I also think Kentucky will be able to put up some points. Give me over 52.5.
But come on, calculate it. Are you going to fight it?
No, I'm not.
Diego wants that Heisman. They're going to be trying to put up some points for him.
Raymond is asking for locks in the Notre Dame Syracuse game. I've got one. Does anybody else?
It is a lock that I will not watch this game.
Correct.
I mean, Syracuse has to feel pretty good about keeping Fran Brown at this point, right? Like, they're not going to have a Lane Kiffin situation up there.
Notre Dame first half team total over 23.5. I need 24 points on the board by the time the Fighting Irish get to the locker room, and I believe that they can get it. I took note of how on the front foot Notre Dame was against Pittsburgh, and this is the final home game of the season for the Fighting Irish. Well, playoff. You're right.
Yeah.
It could be in the college football playoff, but I expect them to come out to be getting the work they need done. I don't know if they are trying to I don't know if they're trying to boost anybody's stats or not, but they were way more aggressive when they took control of the game against Pitt than they were once that game was in hand. It is 33.5 is a massive spread. And I really got no idea what we're going to get from Laxborough coming out there for Syracuse at quarterback. But I do know that Notre Dame should be able to score against this defense. Notre Dame first half team total over 23.5.
It's not bad.
Danny, where else would you like to go?
Do we have a policy on FCS bets?
Yeah, you can make them.
I just took Mercer.
You just took Mercer.
No, I mean, but like, the Brawl of the Wild is taking place. Montana and Montana State squaring off, number 2 versus number 3. I mean, it is kind of a big game for the 316-pound trophy between the two. Well, we don't have to go there.
I say put it on there.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
You'll allow it? Because we have a home dog in Montana who is sitting at 11-0, perfect on the season. Montana State 9-2, 7-0 both in the Big Sky. Give me the home underdog, Montana, plus 1.5.
What time is kickoff here? 1 p.m., 2 p.m.?
2 Eastern.
2 Eastern.
Watch
out for Kiali Ayat, the QB for Montana State. Got to defend him.
I need Danny giving updates on this one in studio.
Yes, I think we should do a game recap of this one. Got to give love to FCS.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you make a good enough argument, and it's something that's available at the big sports books.
It's on FanDuel.
It's on
Make
FanDuel.
every moment more.
There you go. Tom, where would you like to go?
Home. But let's see. First, give me. I'm trying to see where I want to. You know what? I want to get this in case it moves, but let me check real quick. Sorry.
I was about to make that joke with Mercer, but guys, I need to bet this quick. It's about to start moving.
All right. Give me the under 40.5 in Minnesota Northwestern.
Ooh, tasty.
Minnesota is a slow-moving team. They've been getting slower as the year has moved on. Northwestern, not exactly a speed demon. Neither one of these offenses is very explosive. I think that they match up very well with one another defensively, in that I think both defenses are capable of slowing down the athletes on the other side. It's at Wrigley Field. Wind might be howling in off the lake. We know what kind of impact that has. This feels like the kind of game where the only run that'll be scored will be on an error and a wild pitch. So give me the under 40.5.
I will add a bet to that game as well. I will take Northwestern and lay that. I have to lay 3.5 though, right? It is a hook.
Let me see if I could find you a 3. I don't think there are any out there.
I do think lower scoring game could be.
Yeah, 3.5 is the best you can get.
All right, because Northwestern, as I would not want to have to see them have to beat Illinois to get to a bowl game. They could use this win to get to a bowl. Minnesota's already locked theirs up. I think Northwestern's a pretty good team that was like a much better team, I won't say, this year. They've been a tough route. I think they get a big win at home.
Solid but limited is a Northwestern.
Hi, honey. Hi. This is what happens when you tell me not to acknowledge you. She texted. She's like, I'll be coming downstairs in a second. I'll be quiet. Don't acknowledge me. I'm like, okay.
Okay. All right.
Will do.
Hi.
Can't say that word on the show, hon. Okay.
SMU minus 2.5. Louisville's in town. Early kickoff. Louisville's vibes are stinky. SMU obviously still playing. Still playing it for lots of different. Let's see. SMU, you're looking at 32.7% chance you're in the title game against UVA. 12.6% chance you're in the title game against Georgia Tech. Even 7.3% chance you're in the ACC title game against Duke. If you want to get any of those scenarios home, you got to take care of business right here. Louisville Cardinals quarterback Miller Moss talking about culture issues on the team that need to be addressed. Ugh. I don't trust the Cards on the road in this spot. Give me the Ponies minus the short number.
I could think of another position on the team that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, the quarterback. Yeah, so let me go ahead and get a piece of SMU. I've got way too many potentials. We need to start trimming this.
Let's go ahead and drill one down here.
All right.
All right. So the dentist, like my bets last weekend, but still can't catch a break. When Lane Kiffin leaves for LSU, I won't miss his play calling inside the 5-yard line. The NIL pool will be much larger if we don't keep losing bets by turning it over on downs 2 to 3 times per game inside the 3. Slim pickings this weekend, boys, but I'm still riding with my guys at Vandy. They are still highly motivated, obviously, and I trust them to play well enough at home in the new electric environment at the Boat. Give me Vandy minus 9.5 in the first half. Vandy team total over 16.5. Waves at Lane.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
If only Lane liked
Guys
golf.
are like so done with him.
Oh man, if Lane liked golf, it'd be so good.
The dentist would have his hooks in him, you know? If Lane liked golf. Too
See how
bad.
pissed Ole Miss boosters were gonna would be if all of a sudden he starts playing golf at his new school. Like, just salt the wound.
Where's this new school gonna be?
Like, is LSU just leverage against Florida, or do you think he actually would take LSU?
I don't know.
So you think he's Florida? Or do you think he
I don't-
knows? I think there's genuine.
I don't know if he I genuinely think he enjoys the process more than he's ready to make a decision.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he may not know.
And he did the same thing with Auburn. He just let it drag out and then stayed.
I had a friend who was being wooed by 4 or 5 different fraternities, and he took it all the way to bid night, and he was even like, I don't know, where am I gonna go? And just let them all wine and dine him until the very last minute, and then just made kind of an impulse decision. And I'm getting those same vibes, you know. Lane likes Rush more than he's ready to start pledging. So
And just like the bid decision, it can be life altering.
yeah. Absolutely.
Do you have any locks? Whatever what? Okay. She said
What was
Utah minus 17.5.
Lock agreement.
Oh,
Put her on the board. Give her own column.
All right.
Yeah, we're rolling with that one 100%. Are you kidding me? There are so many college football games in a Saturday. There are results that sometimes fall below the radar, and Kansas State absolutely showing zero interest to play winning football against Oklahoma State last week was one of those results that fell under the radar to begin with, and really took a deeper audit of Week 12 before I realized how funky things are around those gym bags. And now they're going to go all the way out to Salt Lake City against the Muss, against a Utah team that is hitting its stride in basically every facet. Nah, Utah blows them out. I'll lay the big number. Bird is the word.
So if she gets this right, does she replace the dentist and Ken's next season?
Does she want to?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
She doesn't seem very thrilled with me right now.
She might sign a contract extension to stay upstairs. You know, new deal with more buyout language. I like that.
She pulled that game. That's
Goes,
great.
yeah, listen, she knows ball. There's some ball knowing going on for sure. All right, Tom, where you want to go?
Give me UTSA plus 2.5 at home against East Carolina.
Come on, I'm locking up with the whole family.
UTSA been much better at home. Wouldn't be the first time one of the Americans conference contenders came down to San Antonio and got beat. So give me the Roadrunners.
Things get spooky in the Alamo Dome. I
Play
don't know
Latifah.
why. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, they've just been better down the stretch. So yeah, I don't think this should be a road favorite situation.
It breaks my heart to be on the other side of the Pirates here, but yeah, UTSA at home versus UTSA on the road are some of the more remarkable home road splits, and it goes all the way back like to the beginning of the Jeff Traylor era.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it truly boggles the mind. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in the Alamo Dome?
No idea.
No idea. They must be remembering. Man, it must be. I think I've heard Jeff Traylor in post-game press conferences not say that it's spiritual or like invoking spirits, but he certainly seems to believe there's some mojo going on with the way that the Roadrunners are able to play in that building. So, yep, I'm going to follow those as well. I will grab UTSA plus the 2.5. Let's see, who needs to fill out the card? Oh God. Okay. Not me.
I've only got a few left.
I'm pretty light this week. I think I'm pretty much done.
I've got one.
All right, go.
Give me UAB plus 22 at home hosting USF.
I thought of that.
Like, I mean, USF probably thinking about other things. What happens next year? Their playoff chances are pretty much toast. I mean, they're like what 8% to win the American at this point. Even if they do, I don't know. I'm not sure if they're a team that actually jumps JMU if they came back to win the American. So, probably got guys thinking about next jobs and next transfer destinations. So 22 is a big number to cover on the road against a team that can really score.
Gracious.
I very much had that on the card, but got it.
Texas A&M Samford under 59.5.
Samford, didn't they fire their coach?
Texas A&M in these late season games, whether they be against low level FBS or FCS, it's a lot of 38 to 3s, 40 to 10, 38-10. Yeah, let's back up sort of. I've got it paired on my sheet right with the Georgia Charlotte. Similar thinking here. We're going to get to a good lead, and we're not exactly trying to go out there and put style points. We're trying to keep everybody healthy. And then I got one more. Anybody else?
What you got?
Tulane Temple over. Can I get 55.5 or is it 56.5?
There's 55.5.
Tulane's defense kind of carved up the last couple of weeks. I don't know if when John Summerall calls his team average at the midweek press conference is lying. I think the former linebacker, he was a linebacker as a player, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the former linebacker, former defensive assistant, I think he's mostly frustrated with the defense's inability to get stops, kind of getting picked apart a little bit through the air. That KC, Keeler, and Temple, if they can go get us, if they can go get us 24 points, I do think that Jake Retzlaff and the Wave can be able to take care of the rest. So I'll go Tulane Temple over. So, okay.
I'll hang it up.
Anything else?
I have, let's see, make sure it hasn't moved. Shit, it has moved. Is there any left?
What the Delaware Wake under?
No, I found one at BetMG. Toledo minus 27.5. I know it's Jason Candle is a big favorite, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And it's never really a great spot to be, but I do feel like this is a bit of a mismatch for Ball State, and I think Toledo can take advantage of that. And then my final lock is a team that needs to win out to get to a bowl. That was certainly one of their goals before the season started. And they're facing a team that has not played very well this year, a team that's gotten beat up in conference competition. Give me Texas State team total over 37.5.
Woo! Spavs boys found a little something.
They need to keep finding it.
Sorry, guys, that's a joke. Texas State, I realized we were several coaches ago, but I've been calling
Spavs boys.
Still Spavs boys in my heart. Texas State has been Spavs boys for now 5 years? Has GJ Kinney been there 4 or 5 years? Something like that?
You're always somebody's son, Chip.
That's true. That's true. Bobcats. Go Cats. All right. Last call. Just being very clear, getting everybody's attention. Last call. All right. Okay. Let's review the action we've got on the board. Bud is on. Missouri +8, USC +10.5, Pitt +2.5, BYU-Cincinnati under 56, Cal -2.5, UTSA +2.5, and UAB +22. I'm on. Missouri, Oklahoma under 42.5. Oregon first half minus 5.5. Arkansas plus 9.5. Charlotte, Georgia under 54. Mercer plus 28. UTSA plus 2.5. Notre Dame first half team total over 23.5. SMU minus 2.5. Utah minus 17.5. Texas A&M Samford under 59.5. And Tulane Temple over 55.5. Danny Scott. Florida State minus 4.5. Oregon minus 9.5. UNLV minus 2.5. Arkansas, Texas over 57.5. Charlotte plus 44.5. Kentucky, Vandy over 52.5. Montana plus 1.5. And Northwestern minus 3.5. And Tom's on. Missouri, Oklahoma under 42.5. USC-Oregon under 59.5. Arkansas plus 9.5. BYU-Cincinnati over 54.5. JMU minus 13.5. UTSA plus 2.5. Minnesota Northwestern under 40.5. Toledo minus 27.5. And Texas State team total over 37.5. And those were the locks, sponsored by Cash App. As you heard me say at the top of the show, new Cash App users can use our code and get free money. Use our code, Cover3, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 right in your account. Thank you to Cash App. And coming up on the other side, we turn our attention to the Moneyline Sprinkles for Week 13 and more. Next.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. And now it's time for Moneyline Sprinkles, brought to you by FanDuel. Play your game. Last week, the Sprinkle King Bud Elliott did cash on Texas State plus 160. However, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, Boston College did not come home. For me, a sprinkless week. Virginia Tech, Baylor, NC State, North Carolina, Utah State. Nothing good. Nothing coming home for Chip. Danny got Clemson plus 125. Got Navy plus 320. Baylor and Pitt could not get it done. And then for Tom, let's see. We got Tulsa plus 125, Navy plus 320, Northwestern, NC State, and Coastal not able to come home. So, Bud, what are we sprinkling this week?
All right. So we actually have a lot of stuff to pick from this week. We will take NC State plus 180. They might get off the mat, might not. We'll see about that. I'm not really sure the points figure all that much in that game. We're going to take Colorado State plus 600 against Boise. And, of course, as a matter of principle, we will be taking Ball State plus 2,400 at Toledo because
who's got the bankroll?
That's
who's
right.
Got the bankroll to fade Jason?
Hypothetically, of course.
Right. Hypothetically.
That's correct.
Monopoly, hypothetically.
Yeah, right. This is a nice sprinkle week. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can pick from. Those three kind of stood out, but like this could be a nice upset week among all these games where people don't have a lot left to play for.
Yep. And Danny,
I will go take me to Nashville.
Ooh.
Give me Kentucky plus 300.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
To knock off Vanderbilt. I'm going to go right down the street in Boca Raton, where FAU is hosting UConn. Caden Veldkamp in that offense. Plus 240. Huskies, all three losses they've got, all on the road. They might not be used to the humidity. Their tongues could be dragging a little bit here in the heat of South Florida. That is their last game of the season too, right? UConn is done after this one. Give me Cincinnati at home. Nippert against BYU. What is that one?
I got 120.
I get you 125.
Okay.
And last one. I don't know the number on this one. Sorry, Tom. But Wisconsin has showed new life. They actually played Indiana not bad on the road. Last time they were at home, beat Washington. Let's say they knock off the Fighting Illini.
Plus 260.
Yep.
All right, Tom.
Well, I wasn't going to take NC State before, but now I kind of want to. No, I won't. I'm going to take Maryland plus 460 against Michigan. Michigan's on the road again. Michigan almost lost on the road last week. Michigan has been bad on the road all season. Maryland finally made a decision on Loxley, so that's no longer hanging over their head. And I think that they need to win out to get to a bowl. And if they win this game, they've got Michigan State left. So I know that I'm going to get 100% effort from Maryland. With Ohio State on deck, I don't know that I'm going to get 100% from Michigan. Georgia Southern plus 375.
Damn right.
Stanford at home against Cal plus 135. The band might be on the field. Pitt going on the road to take down Georgia Tech and just making sure the ACC remains a mess at plus 120. And then Middle Tennessee is favored over anybody in this country. What are we doing? Give me the hottest team in America. Give me the Bearcats with a K. Sam Houston plus 210.
That's I thought about that too.
My beloved Blue Raiders, how the mighty have fallen. Cincinnati plus 125. Let's go with a little Pitt Panthers as well. I looked at both of those at plus 2.5 and figured that if you're going to take the 2.5 and given the coin flippy nature of it, that's why I've got them down to the sprinkles portion of the program. I'm also on NC State plus 180. Also on Maryland plus 460, and not a single reference through more than an hour of the Locks podcast on this game. Wouldn't it be hilarious if the Florida Gators keep the streak alive? Let's go Florida plus 170.
On the 4th Saturday in November, nonetheless.
Yeah.
I can get you.
They might have to
Yeah,
rename.
170.
Yeah. So this is a tight line with a very different. There is a pressure imbalance in this contest under the lights in Gainesville. So yeah, let's go Gator to be able to get me home. All right, to review sprinkles we got on the board. Bud is on NC State plus 180, Colorado State plus 600, Ball State plus 2,400. Chip's got Cincinnati plus 125, Pitt plus 120, NC State plus 180, Maryland plus 460, Florida plus 170. Danny's got Kentucky plus 300, FAU plus 240, Cincinnati plus 125, Wisconsin plus 260, and Tom's got Maryland plus 460, Georgia Southern plus 375, Pitt plus 120, Stanford plus 135, Sam Houston plus 210. And those were the Moneyline Sprinkles brought to you by FanDuel. Play your game. Woo-hoo. What else maybe didn't make the cut or that you were circling around? All right, I looked at Arizona minus 6.5 against Baylor. Tricky little spot there for the Baylor Bears. Maryland ended up throwing it on as a moneyline sprinkle, but didn't hate that. Houston, interesting position. TCU, you talked about TCU blowing all their toes off one by one. Let's see what they've got left going up against a Cougs team with something to play for. James Franklin bump plus 17.5. That'd just be funny. I don't. Yeah, nobody. Bud, what's your Miami Virginia Tech read?
My Miami Tech read is that I almost took Tech. Like,
okay.
I actually think if you look at it last week, success rate wise, Tech and Florida State were very even. It really just came down to like a bunch of turnover luck. So like if they played that again, I would definitely bet Tech again over FSU. Like that was not an edge for the Noles. I don't think on a down-to-down basis. It was just very, very, very turnover.
Yep. Danny, anything else you were looking at didn't end up making the cut?
No, I had the Tennessee and Florida, but I didn't do anything with it. That was the only one I had written down.
I also like your play of under in the Miami Virginia Tech game, as another one there where it's just
defense that effort.
Their pass game sucks.
Yeah, Virginia Tech would have to score points to cover 17.5, and that does make me a little bit weary looking ahead to that. But we will be giving you our all on Saturday night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, to recap all of the action, to have reaction to all of the Week 13 action. Come and hang out, youtube.com/cover3. And you can follow him on Twitter at Bud Elliott 3. You can follow him at Danny Kanell. You can follow me at Chip_Patterson. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
See ya.